Can Michael Jackson moonwalk?
Knight Rider, a shadowy flight into the dangerous world of a man who does not exist. Michael Knight, a young loner on a crusade to champion the cause of the innocent, the helpless, the powerless, in the world of criminals who operate above the law.
Hello and welcome to Beyond the Night, brought to you by the GCRN and Audible.com. I am one of your hosts, Steve Joe Mike. Joining me as always is Dion the Music Man. Hello.
Hey, we've made it to the recap of Season 4, it looks like.
Yes, recap of Knight Rider Classic Season 4. And, I almost, Episode 31 came out last week, and before it even came out, I saw a news item online, and I was like, God damn it, I already edited episode 31, son of a bitch. I was like, I was gonna mess you, I'm like, yeah, we gotta get on this right now about this news item, but it wasn't that important, so I didn't message you. But, yeah, there's, and surprisingly, a buddy of mine, Steve Megatron, who co-founded GCRN with me, he actually found this before I did, and it is not a news story from Knight Rider Online at all.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, ScreenRant.com. Arrested development writer to pen Knight Rider movie. Kit will ride again. According to a new report, the Weinstein Company is moving forward on an adaptation of the hit 1980s TV show Knight Rider, and has hired writer-director Brad Copeland to pen the project. The show, which featured David Hasselhoff as Agent Michael Knight, and more importantly, a badass talking Pontiac Trans Am named Kit, ran for 4 seasons from 82 to 86. It was also rebooted as a TV series in 2008, but only lasted 1 season. Notice that they don't mention the 90s bullshit.
Thank God!
The Los Angeles Times was the first to report the news, noting that the film is being conceived as somewhat higher budget, more action-oriented movie than Weinstein's typical prestige fare. Copeland is best known for his work on Arrested Development, and he also wrote the 2007 comedy Wild Hogs. Oh boy. Given the success of Fast and the Furious franchise, which practically everyone loves, it makes sense to move forward on a film that's most significant feature is its super awesome car. That being said, what made Kit cool in the 80s isn't necessarily that innovative anymore. In a world where you can ask your iPhone to not only find out a movie times, but map out directions to the theater, the gimmick of a talking car just isn't that impressive. On the other hand, if the filmmakers were to take the movie in a different direction and made a fun action comedy homage to Knight Rider, they could have a big hit on their hands. Just consider the success of 21 Jump Street. That film took a dramatic concept, police officers going undercover as high school students, and turned it on its head by making it a point about the absurdity of the premise. It's easy to imagine a Knight Rider film taking a similar approach, and given his background as a TV comedy writer, perhaps that's the direction Copeland is planning. In either case, David Hasselhoff will surely be pestering the studio for a role in the remake, and if he does, you can count on the movie doing huge business in Germany. Stay tuned for more news on the Knight Rider movie.
I have a question. Are they going to try to get Bill to do the voice of Kit? Because
it doesn't say.
You know that. I know they tried to get him to do it for 2008, but he couldn't because of schedule issues.
He couldn't for scheduling issues, yeah. And I'm going to actually look at the Los Angeles Times coverage of this just to make sure, because while Screen Rant, I believe they are pretty pretty accurate. When I see LA Times or New York Times, obviously that's the most legit you're gonna get.
Right.
17 for Copeland is How to Craft a New Car. The show's kit was renowned for its ability to talk. But yeah, no, I mean that's cool. And honestly, what else is the Weinstein Company or Universal even gonna do right now? Because honestly, Universal, their big film franchise is Fast and the Furious. That's their big thing right now, unless Bond 24 comes up. You know what I mean? So it's like, what else are they gonna do? I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool. I was talking to you off air. I want to approach, or I want to somehow get an interview with one of the people in charge over at IDW Comics, and I had this idea that there could be an ongoing comic book series about Knight Rider that would combine the elements of the classic series and the 2008 series and have new adventures of Michael Knight Sr. and
his son.
Yeah, Michael Knight Jr.
Right.
Going around doing, the one man or two men can make a difference thing with Knight 2000 being Kit and the Knight 3000 also being Kit, but it would be, obviously it would be the two different designs. It would be the Trans Am and the Mustang. So yeah, that was the news item and my idea that I had for this week. And after this, we're gonna get into our recap of season 4.
Here's something I was gonna say. Here's something I meant to ask you off air before we hit the turbo boost, and that was, why not put Michael Knight Jr. in Kit 4000? I understand that was...
No. No. Because you look at that car compared to today's standards is not futuristic at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I haven't read the specs on it, so I don't know.
The Knight 4000, it looked... Because the whole point of Knight Rider 2000, the 1991 reunion film, was that it was set in the future from that, like, say it was set at this point 10 years ago, year 2000.
Right.
The events of the film is what I mean. Yes, it was released in 1991, but the way that film plays out is we were made to think it was a, not necessarily utopian future, but a future time beyond what Knight Rider Classic was.
Mm-hmm.
And it just... Cars have not evolved like that car did. I mean, it would be kind of cool, but I much prefer the Mustang over the Knight 4000. The Mustang is so much cooler, and it transforms. So,
and it does keep the black look,
yes,
up to the Pontiac standard. It's not a Pontiac, no, but it does keep the black look.
Oh yeah,
you still have that classic look. But I just was thinking, I meant to ask you off air, what about the 4000? But that does make sense to put it in the Mustang.
Yeah, no, 4000 doesn't matter. Let's hit the turbo boost.
All right, they got a head start. It's a real good time for super pursuit mode.
Oh, good.
As always, first up is favorite moments from season 4. For me, anything to do with Scent of Roses, the entire episode.
Definitely agreed there.
Amazing moments with the entire Foundation family. It wasn't just this person had a moment or that person had a moment or Kit had a moment or this had a moment. It was everything about that.
Well, the whole episode in its entirety I liked because you didn't have to take away from the emotional moments of the episode.
Nope.
They stuck with the whole plot. There was no villain of the week. There really wasn't.
No.
I really...
It was all personal.
It was. We've said before in the podcast, we wish, both of us, TFG1 and myself, wish that NBC had ended this on this particular episode. Unfortunately, they didn't, but that's neither here nor there. The point is that this was a good episode all around, and if we were using a scale factor of 10, I'd give it a 10, but we're not. We're doing, kit cars, but it's still a good episode to watch.
Oh, it is, yeah. Other favorite moments for me is Kit Goes Hollywood in Friday Night. I love that. That was awesome.
That was cool. He's
Uh,
he's got his tinted windows.
Yeah, I'm wearing my sunglasses, Michael. Evil Kit was just awesome. I ain't your pal. I love Evil Kit.
Killer Kit.
What was really interesting about season 4 was, and I know you I know you like it, but it's not one of your your most favorites. With Night Song, Kit training the new edition. That was awesome. Him training those. I love that. That was so cool.
Now remember, know your lines, and remember not to bump into the furniture.
Yeah, your lines. Yeah. And Charlie driving Mr. Kit. That was
awesome.
It was freaking awesome. And there are so many more moments that I didn't list, but I mean, season 4 had a lot of really cool moments. What about you? What are some of your favorite moments from season 4?
Well, Night Song, that particular episode was awesome. Obviously, like you said, Charlie Connor's driving car. You see New Edition and that type of thing. And, actually kind of RC coming back to the neighborhood that he left.
Yeah.
So we kind of get to see his old stomping grounds.
Yeah.
And also in this episode, I think we get to see RC shine a little more, since he gets to be, he is a part of Flag, obviously, and we get to see him shine. We get to see him shine in this episode.
Oh yeah. So much. Anything else for favorite moments?
Let's see. The fact that at least one of the funniest moment was in Night Song when the police officer is looking at Charlie driving Kit, and he's like, "What the?"
Yeah.
How many? And I guess one of my other favorite moments when he's talking slang, and that was in Night of the Juggernaut when he's getting rebuilt.
Oh yeah. Strut my stuff. Strut my stuff. Does he talk like that?
No, he does not always talk like that.
No, he doesn't always talk like that. He's picked up a few
colloquialisms during his reprogramming. Oh, that was great. Yeah, that was awesome. We actually get to hear. I guess one of my favorite moments is we get to hear the recycled Goliath noise.
Yeah, they use that often after Goliath died. But
right.
It's still interesting.
It is.
For least favorite moments, I have one. 'cause honestly, I will give Knight Rider one decent thing about season 4. The previous 3 seasons, one of my biggest least favorite moments is too many corrupt cop episodes, too many corrupt judges episodes, corrupt townspeople episodes. Right. There was maybe 1 or 2 or 3 out of 22 episodes in season 4. There wasn't that many, but the biggest least favorite moment for me is the severely lackluster series finale. I can't say enough of how dumb it was.
Voodoo Night.
To have Voodoo Night be the last episode people see on television for that show.
I really, like we've said, we think, you and I have said that we thought that Scent of Rosa should have been it. I mean, after all, Kit says, "Where are we going, Michael?" And Michael says, "We're going home, Kit. We're going to family. We're going to the Foundation."
Yep.
And, Voodoo Night, I think that should have just been one of those episodes you stuck in the middle somewhere.
Yep. Pretty much, yeah. I don't know. Did you have any other least favorite moments that in any of the episodes that really, frustrated you to all hell?
Night of the Rising Sun.
The entire episode, for me at least.
I don't know. I mean, they're just that whole plot. Just yeah.
Yeah, it was just strange. All right, so moving on to favorite characters now. I actually did single out 2 of the Foundation family for specific episodes. Bonnie for Sky Knight, because that's pretty much all her.
Yes, it
Just
is.
stuck in a friggin' airplane. Kit hasn't learned to fly yet.
Well, she's taken hostage, but
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
but
I know what you're saying.
airplane is stuck in the air. Kit turbo boost doesn't go that high.
No.
It doesn't go to 29,000 feet. And RC for Killer Kit. RC and Killer Kit was like the first time really that he kind of got to step out of his shell. Obviously, he got to step more out of his shell in Night Song, but like after Michael took his bike at the end of the episode when they teamed up to get Michael back into Kit, that was the first time that RC really had any.
He had his shining moment there.
Yeah, he had a really good shining moment, and I mean, I guess you could say he had a couple of shining moments in Scent of Roses, but like Killer Kit was like, hey, let's have RC do some stuff. Other favorite characters, I really liked Nordstrom and Hauer. Philip Nordstrom and Jim Howe. I like those villains. Those are some really damn cool villains.
They were.
I thought that was great, and yeah, the quote unquote relationship Nordstrom has with Dr. Von Furst is just creepy as all hell. But, and of course Stevie. Any time Stevie came back was
absolutely one of my favorite villains. Actually, was the Phantom in Fright Night. Robert Englund.
Yeah.
He did a really good job with that role. Obviously, Howard Nordstrom was excellent. I mean, like you said, Stevie was great. Even though she died in the Scent of Roses, but still, she was great in that episode. I actually, I did like RC having his moments. He had some good moments, and I'm really kind of glad that they highlighted twice, RC's moments, because you kind of got to see him go to his old neighborhood. First, you meet him in Night of the Juggernaut, and then you meet him in Night Song, because they go back to the old neighborhood to save, RC's wanting to save one of the historic pieces of the old neighborhood where he grew up at.
Right.
So.
All right. For least favorite characters, the nerd, Elliot. Enough said. A dumb fucking bicycle. Oh my god. That kid.
Durant.
No, I like.
You like Durant? I can't say he's the least favorite.
No.
I can't say he's the least favorite, but I guess you're kind of like, okay, what?
Well, it's not necessarily that I like him, but because I like everything about Scent of Roses.
Right.
Obviously, he was the villain in that, and everything that happened in that was just an awesome thing.
Right.
I mean, he wasn't one of these douche. There's a difference between Michael getting shot and Kit having to instruct the EMTs than there is to Kit falling into an acid pit from some moron who's trying to pollute the entire world in John Byrock. So I would say, for a least favorite character, besides that dumb fucking kid Elliot, who got the girl twice his age.
Yeah.
She could almost be his friggin' mom.
Yes. I would say probably what? In what?
He was
Junkyard Dog. Let's see. The villain.
No, yeah, that's John Byrock.
Yeah, I would say that he would probably be the least favorite character, the least.
Yeah.
Along with Elliot.
Yeah.
I understand what they were trying to do with that episode, but that didn't work.
Elliot's episode is everything. There's not a damn thing right about that episode at all. It just isn't. Hell, the funny thing is, I don't even remember what the goddamn episode's title is. I just remember the fucking Elliot.
Night Nerd.
Oh yeah, stop reminding me. Alright, we're going to take a quick break and hear some audio, and we'll come back with episodes we loved and hated after this.
How you doing, pal?
I ain't your pal.
You just said ain't? You must be sick.
So, we're going to talk about episodes we love and episodes we hate. Episodes we love. For me, Obviously, Night of the Juggernaut, Scent of Roses.
Right.
I really did like Kidnap. I thought that was a cool episode. The Wrong Crowd, Night Sting, Many Happy Returns, Killer Kit, Night Song, and Fright Night. Those are the episodes. Those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those like 9 or 10 episodes are out of 22 are the 9 or 10 that I will always watch. And out of those, there's probably, well, I know there's 2 at least. 3 actually. Night of the Juggernaut, Scent of Roses, and Killer Kid are the top 3 that I will watch any time. I will go back and watch those at any time.
You marked the same ones that you liked. I marked the same ones.
Yeah. But no, they were all great episodes. Fright Night was interesting, and like I said when we talked about Fright Night last week, at first I was like, "Oh God, Phantom episode, no!" And then I really watched it and paid attention to it, and it was really, really interesting, and I really got to like it. So it was very, very awesome. For episodes we hate,
Voodoo Night is one of them.
Yeah, that's the biggest sore point. But I think we've run that joke into the ground.
Yes.
For me, the rest of them. Night of the Rising Sun, Burial Ground, Night Racer, Night of a Thousand Devils, Hills of Fire, and Night Flight to Freedom. 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 7. 7 and I don't know. So there, I would say I like about 8.
8 out of the 7.
8 out of 22, and I absolutely hate 7 out of 22. So that's 15 right there. The other 6 or 7 are just kind of,
they're kind of there.
Yeah, they're just kind of there. What about you for ones you didn't like?
Same ones, really. Oh, yeah. It's just, you wouldn't... I mean, okay, you recognize that they're there, but I don't think you'd go back and watch them again.
Yeah. No, not at all. And the thing is, I know Knight Rider was a weekly crime drama television show. I get it. Back then they didn't have... it's not like today where you can look at, I'm trying to think. It's not like today where you can look at, say, a USA Network show, and the one I like is White Collar.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, where they start at season, and they build the stories every season, and they have one long, continuous continuity. They didn't do that stuff back in the 80s. Yes, there is continuity in Knight Rider Classic. Yes, there are also your weekly villains and dumbass plots and alligator fights with Kit and whatever else. But I understand that the style back then wasn't, hey, we need to start from point A to get to point B to finish out this story. I get that it wasn't like that back then.
Right.
At the same time, I can always go back and rework it to where it is.
That's...
and we'll talk about that in a couple of weeks. But yeah, no. Season 4 overall, I would say out of 22 episodes, having 8 episodes that I could pretty much watch at any time is damn good. Considering if you look back on our previous season recaps, there's maybe 5 great ones that I could actually watch in each season.
Right.
But no, season 4 was damn good, and it was damn awesome. And I mean, come on, Super Pursuit mode. That's the best right there.
It is, and I was hoping that maybe they would have picked up for one more season. I know that there was rumor that there was going to be, as I said before in a previous podcast, but unfortunately there wasn't. They did make out, with 4 seasons. They did crank out 4 seasons. Like we've said before, Scent of Roses should have been at the end. It wasn't. So, you just rework it to where you want to see certain episodes in a certain order,
Yep. Or I just watch those episodes and ignore everything else.
Yeah, exactly.
Overall, it's we're pretty much at the end of Knight Rider Classic. We're recapping season 4 here. Overall, it's been interesting to see just like I said, back in the old days, even like a year or two after Knight Rider went off the air, you still saw majority of the same episodes on reruns. Like it was it was the longest time where I had never seen Burial Ground. That even though it's a crappy episode, the one about the
Indian tribe,
the spooky Indian tribe, yeah.
You're so wrong.
Hello, my name is Habib. How may I help you?
All I'm going to say is Foamy the Squirrel and tech support. That's just...
Yeah. Tech support. I'm sorry, I cannot help you. Click. But no, going back and watching this series from beginning to end was really, really interesting. And as I said before, in a couple of weeks, or might even be a couple of months' time, when we do the overall series recap, I'll have more to say about it then, and we'll talk more about it then. But it's been a fun ride. What about you?
It has been a fun ride. We've had some great highlights, some bad lowlights, unfortunately, but that's just the way it is. Season 1 through 4 started out with a great highlight, and they all started out with a bad lowlight too. So and there should have been episodes that should have been placed elsewhere, and it's like we said, maybe they should have listened to David in specific areas where the episodes should have been.
And see, that's my question is because I remember listening to a commentary track on the DVD set when I had the DVD set a couple of years ago. Don't have it now, but I had the DVD set, and I heard a commentary on there with Glenn and David.
Right.
And my question is, Glenn's the creator, and I know, you create something, you take it to a network, and then they say, oh, sure, we'll do it, but we want this, and this to be this way. And what I'm saying is, why didn't... Because the way Glenn made it sound is, oh, yeah, I wanted it to be that way, but the network didn't, so I just kind of get... Why wouldn't you have fought more to have your best episode of that season, the one that basically, as we've already stated in the show, it basically gives you a reason to want to come back? Why wouldn't you have fought more?
I certainly would have.
I don't know. I understand it. Maybe it was politics. I don't get it. Television back then was so much different than the way it is now.
Right.
But yeah, overall, season 4 is a good season.
It is.
If you really think about it, 8 or 9 really good episodes out of 22.
That's not that bad.
No, it ain't that half bad at all. But it's been a fun ride, and we are gonna take a quick break. You're gonna hear some ads and some other stuff. You'll hear Dion's Sky 107 ad. Oh, I'm sorry, Sky 106 ad. After this, and we'll come back to give you some information on the future of the podcast. We'll be back after this.
Hey, Mickey, you mind telling me where we're going?
Oh, no, Bonnie's got to fix your vocal cords. If you don't drive me crazy first, we're going to Whitby's. Give them the good news.
Bet you they're going to be happier than a couple of off-duty cab drivers. Anything else I can do for you?
If that tree wasn't from Castleberry Grove, where was it from? See what you can come up with, okay?
Mickey, to you, the moon. You know that.
Give me the moon. Give me the data. Give me a pizza, but please, stop talking like that. Just do it without talking, please.
Coming to Grand Rapids, Michigan on September 21st and 22nd is GrandCon Gaming and Comics Convention, presented by Celebration Cinemas. Join us in playing or chatting it up with fellow enthusiasts in a community that understands your passions. Get lost in the adventure of your favorite role-playing game. Admire costumes and art from vendors and attendees. Meet the creators behind your favorite mainstream and independent games and comic books. Check out unpublished games and sneak peek at things to come. You can get all this and more at GrandCon. For more information, please visit www.grand-con.com.
I'm leaving the Foundation. I've had one incomplete life already. It's Michael Long. I'm not sure I want to live out my life as Michael Knight anymore.
Well, it won't be easy to leave, Michael.
We are back, and a couple of announcements. I personally, as much as I love Knight Rider, at this point in time, I'm Knight Ridered out. The show will be going on a brief hiatus, maybe 6 or 7 months. I don't know yet. It just honestly depends, because the next episode we're going to do is Knight Rider 2000, except there is nowhere online where I can find it digitally to actually purchase the damn thing. There is no single DVD of Knight Rider 2000. I don't have a VCR anymore, so I'm not going to buy the old VHS off of Amazon. That's not happening. Pretty much the only place I can get it is the Knight Rider Complete Series box set, and right now that's going for about $100 or so on Amazon, and I don't have an extra $100. So we've got some other stuff coming up on the Geekcast Radio Network that I really need to focus my attention on, and while this has been fun every week over the last, year.
Almost a year.
Yeah, almost a year. Well, this has been fun doing it. I've got so much other stuff that I need to kind of focus on, and plus I kind of need to step away to kind of prepare myself for the shitstorm that is Team Knight Rider. I'm just not ready for that shitstorm at all. Just not. But we will be back. I don't know. I'm going to say tentatively October. We may release Night 2000 on Halloween. Talk about a Halloween night.
That's just so bad.
I know, right?
Yeah. You're just, yeah.
Yeah. So we are going to go on a brief hiatus, but we will be back, and we will be covering Team Knight Rider, and oh God help us. Ugh. Any other final words you want to say?
Well, it has been a fun ride, and sitting here with TFG1 Mike and recording this podcast for all you guys that are listening, we certainly thank you for your support, and all the compliments and comments that you guys have left. I know that, of course, the day before, usually on a Saturday, I'm broadcasting, and that's 3 hours. And then, I come back in, put my headphones on, and I'm sitting here with TFG1, and it's about an hour that we record this, something like that. But, that's nonetheless, it's fun. It's awesome. It's been awesome. But, like he said, I kind of need to step away and do some other things, and, try to focus my attention on other stuff, maybe some other sound projects you may hear me on. Keep your ears open, keep your eyes glued to the net. You'll never know. I always tweet. You guys can follow me on Twitter, themusicman08. But this has been fun. This has really been fun. It's been awesome. I hope that we can do, Knight Rider 2000 very soon. I'm just not ready for.
Oh yeah, we will. Like I said,
I'm not ready for Team Knight Rider. I'm just not ready for it.
I don't think anybody's ready for Team Knight Rider. Honestly, there was a comment somewhere on my Facebook where a buddy of mine, JT from Saskatoon, he said, "Holy crap, you're doing Team Knight Rider." I'm like, "Yep." He said, "You're a braver man than I am." I said, "I know. It's because I'm not from Canada." But no, and it was one of those things when I originally created the podcast, it was I wanted to go through the entire history of television of Knight Rider, which sadly has to include Team Knight Rider.
It does. Well, when you brought me on to this project, I was all for it. I was like, why the hell not? Nobody else has been able to do it. I know that there was...
I mean, there are several other Knight Rider podcasts.
Right.
I believe, is it Shadowy Flight? I don't know. There's
Shadowy Flight. There was one that was, done by someone that I know. And that's actually how you and I met, believe it or not, was through that former podcast.
Yeah, I mean, there's been several Knight Rider podcasts, but like even the Shadowy Flight podcast, I don't think they went in the order that we're going in, where we start at the beginning and we go to the end. I think because I think what they were doing back in 2008 is, and I could be wrong, I'd have to look this up on iTunes. I think they were reviewing a classic episode 1 week, and then reviewing 2 of the new episodes at the time of the 2008 series. But I could be wrong about that.
Right.
You know, I'm gonna have to look that up. But it's just one of those things where, to my knowledge, there isn't a Knight Rider podcast out there besides Beyond the Night that is going from the beginning all the way to what the current ending is of Knight Rider on television.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we hope you enjoyed this episode of Beyond the Night, and wish you'll join us next time, sometime in October, maybe around Halloween, when we'll be reviewing Knight Rider 2000, and then the week after that, we'll be taking on the first 3 episodes of Team Knight Rider, those being Fallen Nation, The Magnificent TKR, and The A-List.
That's just... Yeah.
I love it when a plan comes together.
Yeah.
For now, I'm Joe and Mike with
Beyond the Music Man 08.
Kit, close the show.
I heard something, and for the life of me, I can't seem to get it out of my mind. You may break, you may shatter the vase, but the scent of the roses will hang round it still. The scent of the roses will linger forever. Forever.
Kid. Your family. We're going to the Foundation.